Hi everyone, today's video is going to be jam-packed with things that you, a brand new player to Lost Ark, might want to know. We're gonna go through a lot of topics, some of them spicier than others, topics that those of you who are new are generally asking me in the comments of my videos, and also things that will really help you get a better understanding of what Lost Ark is about. In case you're new to my channel, nice to meet you, my nickname is Saivo. I've been playing and covering Lost Ark on my YouTube channel since Lost Ark started in Korea in 2018. I'm very excited to have all of you new to Lost Ark aboard and watching my content. Thank you so much for that. And another warm welcome to those of you who are new members of my channel with the paid membership. I highly appreciate your support and thank you so much for that. Let's get into the topic of today's video. First of all, I want to mention that as a new player to Lost Ark, you should definitely join the community Discord that is available for the game. This is something that fans have made many years ago, and it is full with players that have a lot of passion and a lot of knowledge about Lost Ark. So because of that, it's such a great place for you as a new player to maybe ask a question and not necessarily take that answer for granted, but just process it through your own filter and you know, see what someone else that has been playing this game for many years thinks about it. Something else that's a good idea is that you, a new player to Lost Ark, would give the game a try before it comes out for us in the West. And you can do that by checking the description of this video or the description of any of my videos and watching my guides on how to play Lost Ark, for example, in Russia. It gives you the opportunity to experience this game a little bit sooner and maybe get out of the way some things that you would need to test out for the Western version, and then in the Western version you would straight from day one get the best experience that you wanted to get. You can test the classes, for example. Just look at the ones that are coming up for us in the West and just go ahead, test them in Russia, in Korea, wherever you want to play. I have my guides, easy to follow, in the description below. That's another good idea. Lost Ark is an MMOA RPG. Now, this camera view looks a little bit like Diablo, Path of Exile, these kinds of games. In reality, Lost Ark has very little in common with Path of Exile and Diablo. Besides the styling, I would say a lot of other things are from classical MMORPGs that you know and love. So there's nothing to be afraid of if you're an MMORPG player, like you've played, I don't know, Final Fantasy, Terra, Aeon, World of Warcraft. There's so many things from normal MMORPGs in Lost Ark that it's absolutely okay to play it. Again, the same thing goes if you're a Path of Exile or Diablo fan or player. So if you like the visual style of these kind of games but want a lot more MMO zing to your game, then Lost Ark is again perfect for you. Lost Ark is free to play, will be available on Steam. Founders packs are available at the moment. I have reviewed them. I'm gonna link that review in the description below if you're interested in looking at it. Lost Ark also has a premium monthly membership available. Again, I have reviewed the premium membership as well, linked in the description below. Gear in Lost Ark matters in most PvE content. I'm saying most because there are bits of content and more to come in the future where PvE is equalized, right? So gear doesn't matter, stats don't matter, and that's a fantastic place for people who just want to test their skill or their group composition in terms of classes, who is the fastest, let's say, to clear that raid where gear is equal. Very, very nice. On the other hand, gear does not matter in PvP. Quite frankly, nothing outside PvP matters in PvP. No foods, no pots, no buffs, no whatever. PvP is completely equalized, so you can just hop into Lost Ark and be a PvP player forever without having to touch PvE. We're going to discuss this a little bit later. Same as for PvE content, PvP has a variety of modes to it. It's fast-paced, it's real-time, it's quite skill and class knowledge based with a little dash of intuition needed. Very, very interesting. One of my favorite parts of Lost Ark is actually the PvP system. You have instanced 3v3 arenas, you have 1v1 arenas, you have weekly large-scale arena, you have practice modes, you have ranked seasons with amazing rewards, and guild versus guild PvP. Open world PvP does not exist in the game at this very moment. Well, it does, but you won't feel it. However, open world PvP is coming to Lost Ark with future patches this year in Korea and probably next year or maybe actually even later for us in the West. There's many things you can expect to have at endgame in Lost Ark, a variety of types of dungeons, raids, world bosses, crafting, housing, actual guild only content, a lot of achievements, there is like sea and water content as well. Now that we got over the basics, I wanna start addressing things that new players ask me a lot. I will start with the gender lock question. Is Lost Ark gender lock, or why can't I play that X class in male or female? Now, Lost Ark did indeed start as a gender locked game. In time, and starting with August last year, the devs have started to unlock genders for every class that is available. We already have 2 classes that have had their genders unlocked. One of them is something that we're getting also in the West, and that is the Gunslinger. She is the female version of the Deadeye. In the future, every single class in Lost Ark will have the opposite gender counterpart available to be played. The next question that you guys are asking a lot is Lost Ark pay to win? Oh boy, can I talk about pay to win, as I've played all my life pay to win MMORPGs, so by now I'm quite an expert. I am unable to call Lost Ark pay to win. However, I will be honest as I've been since 2019 with you guys and tell you that Lost Ark is in the gray area when it comes to real money and pay to win. Some people might find it pay to win, some people might not. For me personally, I will not say that Lost Ark is pay to win unless I am forced to be grammatically correct. Otherwise, after playing it for 2.5 years, I by now know that there's nothing to win at Lost Ark when you deposit real money. Generally, most pay-to-win MMORPGs, they force you into a corner where you are kinda compelled to deposit real money so that your fun would begin. In Lost Ark, everything is fun throughout, from the beginning all the way until the end. Now, if in other MMORPGs that I consider pay to win, you pay real money so you can start feeling viable, for example in PvP content, you can start doing some damage to other players and start enjoying the PvP content after you've paid real money to catch up. Or for example, when we're talking about PvE content, you are kind of forced to pay real money because otherwise nobody's gonna take you in their group because you're just too bad, and that dungeon or raid that everyone's farming at the end game of every single patch is the only one that gives you valuable rewards for what needed in the game in general. Now, Lost Ark is completely the opposite in both of these categories, PvP and PvE. PvP in Lost Ark is completely equalized. There is nothing outside PvP that matters within PvP, so for PvP players this might be the best game they've ever played. However, even if we're talking about PvE content, where indeed in Lost Ark you can deposit real money, and with real money you buy gold straight from the in-game shop, and then with gold you can purchase 90% of the materials that you actually need to enchant your gear and progress through your item level. So as you can imagine, if you buy these materials assuming they are available on the auction house from other players, if you buy them, your gear progression is sped up by quite some. Now, having that said, when you do reach the end in Lost Ark, when you do have, let's say, a super high or maximum item level, things at that point are stopping. They are the end, and if they're not stopping, you're going to continue doing exactly the same things as a guy who's 500 item levels under you, and that is dungeons, raids, daily quests, sea and water content, guild content, PvP, whatever else everyone else is doing. Of course, your raids at that specific item levels are going to look different and feel different, but that doesn't change the fact that you get the same idea of materials and things from your raids as a guy who hasn't paid any real money gets from his raids. Only he has more fun because he actually feels rewarded for it, while you are just completely done sitting on your gear, which is nice. It's really cool, I'm not gonna lie. Lost Ark's cash shop is very tempting. You are incentivized, let's say, to deposit, but you are not forced into a corner to deposit. So until my full video regarding pay to win in Lost Ark for the Western version comes available, which is going to be when we get the cash shop so I can actually talk about what we have in the West, I will tell you this. don't be afraid of pay to win in Lost Ark, and don't let this be a reason for you not to try the game or not to love the game or be afraid of getting invested into the game. A question that I have seen very many times about Lost Ark's endgame, whether it's boring and repetitive. He is saying that he has seen numerous posts saying that after 2 or 3 months of the game being awesome, it becomes boring and repetitive. He's also asking if the devs are working continuously on the game to improve it. I will answer that because it's such a simple and super hard, absolutely yes. I personally could understand why some people, which posts you've seen, might tell you that it becomes boring and repetitive, because indeed if you just wanna do the things that give you mats to get more item level, period, you're not interested in anything else in that game. I don't know, I really don't know. I don't want to upset anyone, but like, we're playing MMORPGs, we're supposed to do a little bit of something else. And I know it sounds stupid because, you know, we're in 2021, everything's fast, let me get that, boom, I'm out. But I remember again playing MMORPGs 12-15 years ago. There was a lot of time wasted in all sorts of things. Now games are better, but they still have cooldowns daily, weekly. There's still walls of, you know, progression. And in Lost Ark there's so much to do, but that's assuming that you enjoy doing something else besides fighting with your character mobs that give you mats. If you really are that kind of a player which just wants to non-stop feel rewarded with important gear progression things, Lost Ark actually allows you to do that, right? It allows you not to get bored or not to get repetitive, at least not entirely, by giving you the opportunity to create alts, getting them to 50. They can be the same class or different classes if you want to cut down from the repetitiveness of the game, and just continue doing the same valuable content that you do with your main. Questions about classes are very popular also these days, and I would like to answer a few of them, give you an overview on the classes and how you should think about going about them. Should you play more alts and so on? The first one asks, I love Bard, should I just play Bard one class and not make any other classes? Absolutely. If you love one class, if you found the class that you love, I'm really happy for you, and you should definitely just play that one. But instead of just playing one, why don't you play 2 bards or 3 bards? You know you love the class and you just make more alts. It helps you gather more gold that will help you in game eventually, and also you get to play this lovely MMORPG more on the class that you actually love. Every single class in the game is such a unique and pleasant, exciting experience that you don't know in Lost Ark what class you're gonna be. Who are you in Lost Ark? If you've been playing a tank in many other MMORPGs, here in Lost Ark you actually might be some sort of a ranger or a gunner. So trying all of the classes or many of the classes out is such a great idea. And in terms of alts, yes, having alts is a great idea because you can get to farm important things at endgame on a variety of alts, same class or various classes, that's up to you, and then reap the rewards that they give you so many different times. Another question is, what is the best group composition for Lost Ark in general? In most cases, 3 DPS classes and 1 support class works the best. And that is for several reasons, not only because 1 support class in your 4-man group gives you all of the cool DPS buffs that the other DPS need to perform better, but also at the same time a support class also gives you some defensive buffs. And because of that, the other 3 DPS classes in the group are a little bit more relaxed, a little bit less stressed of, you know, maybe taking that bit of damage and always dashing around, moving away from the boss, as opposed to sitting here now and DPSing because they know someone has their back defensively as well. So because of that, when your DPSs are relaxed, they tend to perform better as well. What are the top 3 classes to choose to make sure that I always find the group. Now, Lost Ark is not like other MMORPGs where, for example, some classes are specifically made for PvP and some classes are specifically declined from groups. In Lost Ark, every class can finish every single bit of content. Having that said, of course, the classes that most people would want to always have in their groups are support classes, and those are two, the Bard and the Paladin. So picking Bard and Paladin kinda theoretically answers this question for you. Now keep in mind that, of course, if there is already a Bard in a 4-man group and you are playing a Bard, now chances are that group is not going to take you also as a double for the Bard. So it's not your class though, because the class is great, it's just the fact that there already is someone there. The same goes for every other class almost, where, you know, if there is already one there, maybe some people need a specific buff or a debuff from one of the other classes that's not already in the group. So that has to be considered. I would also like to mention that the Gun Lancer is also seen as someone who can potentially support your group. Me personally, I see the Gun Lancer as a DPS class that doesn't do a lot, immense amount of DPS, but it can help your group output more DPS in general, and because of that, some people and also some raids benefit a lot from having a warlord in the group. So that's, let's say, a third that I would mention to you. Lastly, a person is asking if he can just come to Lost Ark and play PvP all day long without bothering at all with PvE content. This is a fantastic question. PvP, as I've mentioned, is one of my favorite parts of Lost Ark, and the answer is absolutely you can. In Lost Ark, you get to level 50 and you just start playing PvP. You don't need to farm absolutely anything else. Just level up to 50 and you're done. Then when you want to try another class, you can level up another class to 50 and try PvP on a different class. PvP in Lost Ark is very, very nice, very exciting. A system that is fair, completely equalized. PvP in Lost Ark has a lot of modes that you can play, and very important is that it also is an esport. In 2 of the regions that Lost Ark is out, Korea and Russia, they even had already their first LAN tournament for PvP Lost Ark, which was very exciting. I commentated I think the grand finals. I'm gonna link that video in the description below. I loved commentating the grand finals for the Korean region of esports. And if you're a PvP player in Lost Ark, just the thought that your game has the potential to be an esports, and you as a player, if you get so good, have the potential to be invited to some LAN esports tournament for Lost Ark, even in the West, that is such a great feeling. Of course, now with this COVID, it has also forced Lost Ark to not do a second LAN esports tournament, and hoping to see more of them after this COVID settles down a little bit. These were all of the things that I wanted to talk about today. I hope that they will help you better understand the game and answer some of your questions that you might have as a new player. I'm very happy to help you if you ask in the comments below. I cannot promise, but I am trying really hard to answer your questions. If you have any other questions, just ask me, I will answer, or someone else with a lot of experience playing the game will be happy to answer. I wish you lots of love. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna see you really soon. Until then, take care and stay safe.